Today, I'm going to convince you how involved and complex video games can be. My favorite game is Portal 2, which is a three-dimensional puzzle game that lets players design their own levels. In the game, your avatar has a device which creates interdimensional holes to connect two different surfaces. Passing through these holes, or portals, instantly teleports you from one location to another. To show you what I mean, I've constructed a simple level with walls labeled 01 and 02. I can cross the room by traveling through portals. Across from me, you see the wall labeled with 02. Behind me, you see the wall labeled 01. I will create one of my portals in this wall and the other portal across the room, and when I pass through the portal, I have now crossed the room, and 01 is the far wall and 02 is the near wall. I can cross back through and return to the other side. In most portal puzzles, the goal is simply to get to the exit. As you can see, the exit is directly in front of me on the 02 wall. So passing through my portal and through the exit completes my puzzle. This is only the simplest kind of puzzle. A slightly more advanced puzzle would require the player to complete some form of action in order to open the exit. Let me show you what I mean. In this puzzle, the exit is closed. When I step on this button, the exit opens, but as soon as I leave the button, the exit closes. So the player must find an object, like this weighted cube, to place on the button and activate the exit. Now the player can travel across the room through the use of portals and complete the puzzle. The use of portals has more applications than just crossing distances. Portals can be used to gain vision, teleport objects, connect disparate elements, or even gain velocity. Allow me to demonstrate. In this example, the button to open my exit, connected via this blue ant line, is encased in glass. I can't get in there myself, and if I did, I'd be trapped because these black walls don't permit portals. So the answer to this puzzle is to teleport objects rather than myself. So using portals, I will teleport the cube into the column to land on the button and solve the puzzle. In this example, the solution to the puzzle involves me redirecting that laser into this receptacle connected to the exit. The easiest way to do that is through the use of portals. As you can see, a portal will connect two parts of the room and allow lasers to pass through it and other objects as well. So by portaling the end of the laser and giving it a new exit portal in a different direction, I can connect the laser to the receptacle and solve the puzzle. In this next example, there is no barrier to the open exit across from me, except that I can't portal across the room. Above me, you can see this tractor beam. I can connect the tractor beam to different parts of the room by placing a portal at the end of it and another portal to allow it to exit, and using the tractor beam in this fashion, I can portal an exit that will push me across the room and through the exit to the puzzle. The last example is fairly complex, but I'll do my best to explain. In this room, the objective again is simply to cross to the opposite side of the room, but as you can see, these dark walls don't permit portals, and I have no tractor beams or other devices that will allow me to cross to the other side safely. Instead, I have to use a method we call flinging to use portals to gain velocity to fly over to the other side of the room. As you can see, my jumping capabilities inside the game are not sufficient to cross this pit of deadly water. But by placing a portal in the floor and another portal in the ceiling, I can jump from one portal into the other. This will allow me to fly in an arc, through the blue portal, out of the orange portal, back into the blue portal at a higher speed. When that happens, I will fly out of the red portal, going much faster, and I will be able to cross the room. Let me demonstrate. As you can tell, the game is very complex, and I've only scratched the surface. In fact, the physics rules of the game are actually being used in classrooms to teach kids things about velocity, oscillation, gravity, and parabolic arcs. For example, one way in the game you can observe oscillation is by making two portals in the floor underneath this weighted cube and watching it oscillate between the two portals as gravity pulls it in two directions. Another way you can observe the physics of the game is by creating two portals in a vertical line that allows the cube to pass through it at ever-increasing speeds. This is the best way to show you the speed that I incurred earlier when I flung myself to the opposite side of the room. Combining these elements and many more allows players to create unique and varied levels for others to play. Some designers strive for intimidating complexity or difficulty. I prefer simpler puzzles which require players to think around corners. Small puzzles with no obvious solution are more intriguing than huge labyrinths with dozens of switches. Good level design requires more than just putting obstacles between the player and his goal. Consider what players might try that you didn't intend. What draws someone's eye to different parts of the room? Does the player know the effects of his actions? Good design requires giving players proper clues, making consequences transparent, and not punishing people for minor mistakes. There are implications from architecture, math, physics, and geometry. In classrooms, kids learn data collection, statistics, and evaluation by submitting puzzles to their peers for review. While just playing the game is intriguing, designing levels adds infinitely more complexity. Minor changes can yield unintended consequences like making your puzzle unsolvable, too easy, or trapping the player. Because level design is now possible for amateurs like myself, the quality of puzzles varies greatly. With nearly 200,000 puzzles already created, it can be hard to tell which ones are any good. To help with that distinction, and to put my own thumbprint on the crafting community, I host a daily show on YouTube about level design in Portal 2. I critique bad puzzles, feature good ones, offer tutorials, and host weekly contests. If the game itself weren't challenging enough, this extra endeavor is teaching me lessons about video editing, branding, promotion, and community building. For example, to help brand my videos, I created this 3-second intro using quotes from the actual game.
That Portal 2 cast.
Let the games begin.
In 3, 2.
I then introduce each show using themes or taglines for the appropriate day of the week. While my show probably isn't ready for prime time, in just 4 weeks of doing this, I've earned 25 subscribers and over 1,600 views. My eventual goal is to leverage my audience to design and sell apparel marketed to gamers, such as this t-shirt, which states, "My hobbies include time travel, zombie hunting, dragon slaying, princess saving, world building, puzzle solving, terrorist blasting, spell casting, project management, resourcefulness, negotiation, strategy, and leadership. The brainless, unimaginative, and boring might call me gamer."